What's up everyone? Welcome to another Killer Lope video. And as you can tell by the length of the video, it's gonna be a big boy, where I just sit here, look at nothing, and talk about killers in Dead by Daylight. I was fully inspired by Zoe's video on this, where she pretty much did the same exact thing, where she sat around talking about killers at 2 a.m. It's 3 a.m. for me this time. So Zoe, I bested you on this one. It's later for me. But anyway, if you guys want to see her tier list, I'm gonna link her video down in the description so you can go watch that and have fun with it. But anyway, let's get into it. I'm just gonna sit here, talk about the killers, my experience with them, my experience playing them, because I've played every single killer in the game, and I'd consider myself quite decent at pretty much every single killer in the game, with a few exceptions, I'd say. Maybe like twins, I'm not very good at, or I'm looking at the killers here. I don't see any other killer. Maybe Doctor. I'm not a great Doctor. Other than that, I'm pretty decent at every other killer. And I used to be a killer main for a lot of my DBD career, so let's get into it. We have S, A, B, C, and D. I feel like we need another tier here, and also this tier list is updated to the Skull Merchants. So let's start vanilla. Go and start at the top with the older killers, and then we go down to the newer killers. I feel like that's the way to go. Trapper. So, with the tier list, let me just give this massive disclaimer. I'm going to be assuming that the killer is playing well and playing the most optimal. So let me take my headset off, because it keeps making this weird sound. Also, I'm not using it for anything, so you guys are not going to be able to hear the sound my headset makes. I'm going to be assuming that the killer is playing well, and he's also playing the most optimal way to play with the killer that they're playing. So let's say Sadako, I'm assuming that they're playing Condemned Sadako. Trapper, I'm assuming they're playing Basement Trapper. Maybe not to that extreme. Yeah, not to that extreme, but like they're playing Hit and Run Sadako. Trapper defending an area. And I'm not assuming the best maps, but I'm assuming the killer is good, is what I'm saying. So, Trapper, I think he's a solid C tier killer. He's not terrible to a point where he's unplayable, but a lot of the maps, as I see otzdarva talking about this all the time, don't really have many good places where you can place traps, and I certainly don't feel threatened when I see a trapper when I'm playing Survivor, especially because most of the traps are avoidable. Sometimes I just chase the trapper around and I go disarming all his traps, and there's not much he can do, instead of other than chasing you to a corner of the map and then trapping you there. Maybe that's an effective strategy, but that just feels like a weaker knight, so pretty weak. I don't really think there's a way to bring Trapper into the meta again. I feel like he's only really good against bad players that don't understand how towers work and where they can run to. If they feel threatened by a trap, they can just disarm it. I feel like he's a noob stomper, and he can also be super annoying if you play Basement Trapper, which is pretty much uncounterable most of the time, especially now that DH does jack against the traps, which I think is fair, by the way. I don't think you should be able to DH over traps. But yeah, C tier. I don't think anyone's gonna argue with this. Oh, there's always people arguing about everything in DVDs. Let's move on to Wraith. Hit and Run Wraith is actually extremely strong, assuming you're running gen kick perks and hitting people, running away, kicking the gen with Sloppy Butcher. Wraith can be one of the stronger killers in the game, and I don't think people understand this, but Wraith is super powerful if you're playing him annoyingly enough. You can patrol gens just as well as Blight can, except you don't really have a chase power, so you're gonna have to kick a lot of pallets. Okay, maybe A tier. I'm being too generous here. Okay, B tier is pretty decent. Also, I'm gonna be assuming that you're playing against good survivors, so I expect people to be healing up and everything, and maybe preserving pallets. But I don't know, if you lock the survivors down to a 4 or 3 gen, Wraith is pretty much unstoppable. He's super strong. But he's very perk reliant and also add-on reliant. Wraith has some pretty crazy add-ons, and if he's running like Silent Bell, he's probably an S tier killer for all I know. But yeah, I think he's a solid B. Solid B is okay. I'm fine with it. Billy, pretty bad. Even Curve Billy, I don't think there's any iteration of Billy where he's not a super bad killer. He just, I mean, this killer is super old, right? I don't think they made enough changes to Billy. Well, not enough good changes to Billy to make him keep up with how survivors are evolving and how survivor perks are evolving and how well survivors are playing. So I don't think Billy is anything. I think Billy is super bad, but he's super fun to go against. And yeah, I wish more people played Billy and actually chased. But other than that, is he weaker than Trapper though? Probably not. I mean, he has an insta down, you know? He has an insta down, so he's probably stronger than Trapper. I think they're pretty, you know, pretty even here. Nurse. She teleports. Yeah. Even with the add-on nerf, she teleports. She ignores pallets. And everything else. Yeah. Yeah. Myers, though. So, I don't think it's fair to assume that the killer is running Tombstone Peace. So, I'm just gonna be assuming that he's running, like, faster stalk and longer tier 3. Just like as a baseline. And he's actually playing well. And committing to chases, 99ing tier 3. It's a pretty solid C. To be a D tier killer with an insta down, I think that's kind of an exaggeration. I think he's even better than Trapper and Billy. Having an insta down, just ready to pop. Also, you can 99 your stalk and face camp the last survivor, and that pretty much guarantees a kill. Having faster vaults and longer lunges, super helpful. And if you're a good M1 killer, if you're a good M1 chaser, Myers is super decent. He is going to struggle with a lot of maps, just like any other M1 killer in the game. But I don't think an insta-down killer can be D tier. And also, he's just, you know, better at insta-downing than Billy is. You know, he has less map control, which I think should be taken into consideration here, to be honest. So I'm going to say Billy is stronger than Myers. But it's so hard to tell with these, like, lower tier killers, which one of them is better at, like, holding a game hostage with a 3-gen. But it has to be taken into consideration. It's just 3-genning is one of the best ways to win games as killer. So I think Billy is better at, like, holding the 3-gens because of his mobility, but Myers is definitely better at, like, slugging and, you know, getting down fast and stuff. So yeah, Myers also has some pretty goofy add-ons. And if you're going against a Myers that has like Tombstone, then he's even better than fucking Nurse. You know what I mean? So like, it's crazy. I hate that add-ons can do that much to a killer. It's yeah, I just wish add-ons didn't allow you to Mori a survivor. Because pretty much whenever I see a Myers nowadays, it's a Mori Myers. But Hag, I think Hag is an A tier killer. I'm not gonna put her on S tier because, well, Hag is just annoying as fuck, and I feel like people don't even play serious when they're going against Hag. But that's not why I think she's A tier. By the way, I'm assuming the survivors are good and are actually trying to win. Hag can lock down locations so easily and can like face camp hooks without even being there. She can block every loop in the game. She can have multiple traps down. It's not like Trapper where you have to like pick up your power and then trap the stuff. Hag is super good. Almost every conceivable way. She's very perk reliant. You gotta have like Franklin's and all that good stuff to make her work. I don't see Hags a lot, and when I do see Hag, I usually suicide first hook, so yeah, I used to play a lot of Hag. I don't know if people know this. I don't think I've ever talked about this, but I loved playing Hag because I just liked killing in game, and Hag was really good at it. You know, just grabbing a survivor out of the unhooking animation, and she also has some insanely strong add-ons like silent traps, and they're cool. So yeah, Hag is just a very solid killer. Kind of a shame that she's so annoying to go against, and I think it's crazy that people can even remotely like going against Hag, but is what is, you know, is what is. Doctor, I think Doctor is actually quite a strong killer. I, I pretty much, well, Doctor, if played well, can destroy pretty much any survivor that wants to loop pellets. Because if he shocks at the right time, you are completely and utterly fucked. There's nothing you can do. The thing is, a good doctor doesn't really get rewarded for being good in many ways, other than survivors not being able to loop the pallet multiple times. And so what they do is they pre-drop the pallets, and then Doctor can't really do anything. And then if the survivors are pre-dropping like that, then he's super bad. But even then, I think having a killer that forces you to pre-drop pallets is super good, because eventually they're gonna run out of pallets unless you're playing like Borgo or Garden of Joy or the game. But they're gonna run out of pallets eventually, and if you know how to lock down like a side of the map and like force survivors to loop you there, or try to loop you there when there are no pallets, Doctor is super good. He's definitely better than the lower tier killers over here. There's even an argument to be made about Doctor being better than Wraith, but in my experience, I've had a much easier time winning games as Wraith than Doctor, and I've had much tougher times winning games against Wraith than Doctor. And yeah, I mean, solid killer. Solid killer. I think he can be buffed though. I'm not gonna be talking about buffs and nerfs because I just don't want to do that. But yeah, Doctor is pretty solid. I think he deserves to be in B tier, in my opinion. Huntress. Huntress. Damn. Huntress is so map reliant. I think she's A tier. She's definitely weaker than Hag, but she's much stronger than those lower tier killers. Cause just for the fact that she can throw hatchets, but then DH makes Huntress pretty much, unplayable. DH is you can't counter DH when you're playing Huntress. Oh, you can. It's just extremely hard. And it also depends on if the server is good or not. It's in ping and all that stuff. But yeah, Huntress would be insanely powerful if it wasn't for DH, but then you can just run exhaustion hatchets and you don't gotta worry about that. Also, you can just cross map. I don't think survivors are gonna be able to let go of a gen to just DH after that, so the only real problem that DH offers is when you're committing to a chase and you don't have exhaustion hatchets. But other than that, Huntress can play every single loop in the game, no problem. Even though she's 4.4, her hatchets are just way too fast and way too deadly, and their hitboxes are way too big. She can cross map. I was gonna say easily, but not easily at all. It takes a lot of skill. But Huntresses can be extremely scary to go against, and they're also really good at face camping, so that has to be taken into consideration. Also, super good at tunneling, because you can just hit a survivor after they get unhooked, and then throw a hatchet at them. It's just a Jeej, if you know what I mean. It's a Jeej. That was cringe. I'm sorry about that. Bubba. Bubba. Fuck, I feel like I'm so biased here because I love Bubbas so much. Looping Bubbas is my favorite thing ever. But tank Bubbas, like chase build Bubbas, are super fucking scary, bro. When you see a Bubba vaulting shack window, and you're trying to like go around the shack, and then you notice that he has bamboozle and fucking superior anatomy, you just know you're gonna die. You just know it. You're gonna get chainsawed. A lot of the counterplay I have to Bubba is just relying on them falling for FOV techs and not knowing that I can just keep looping a loop, not never drop the pallets and outrun them if they don't hug the thing very tightly, which is super hard to do. So I'm gonna say that Bubba, if played at like the highest possible level, is a super strong killer. Like A tier strong. Also, there's always the like you're never not gonna get a kill as Bubba. It's like it's a guaranteed 1k. If everything goes wrong, fucking chase one survivor for the entire game, kick every single pallet, down him, face camp. That's a guaranteed kill. There's nothing they can do. So even if you are very bad, it's one of the only killers in the game that can guarantee you, like no questions asked, that you get a 1k. So that's that. That's something. Even though reassurance is in the game. Like I don't think you should be face camping from the start of the game because of reassurance. But even then, if you have deadlock, Bubba's super good. Bubba's just a very solid killer. But yeah. Freddy. He's one of the best killers at 3-jetting. That's all I really have to say about him. I mean, I used to be a Freddy main. Like an actual Freddy main. That's all I played on stream. It's my favorite killer to play for a while. But never felt like he was particularly strong at anything. It's like everything he does, there's a character that can do it just better. He's just aesthetically cool, and he has massive arms. But yeah, dream pallets most of the time are useless. Again, if you can like kick every pallet on one side of the map and then drop fake pallets there and chase whoever's there, that's cool. But you can't really dictate. Well, you can't kind of dictate where the survivor is going to go by zoning the survivor into like a location that you want to use. But still, it's just like it's too easy to loop Freddy's. And Dream Snares are pretty good, but then again, the only thing that they do is they make it so survivors are punished for looping a pallet more than once. And if they start pre-dropping at 99 sprint burst, you can't really do anything. It's too hard. I guess a Dream World making you a stealth killer with a lullaby, kind of okay. I don't think Freddy is as bad as these killers, though. I feel like Freddy is a B tier killer. Yeah, it's like, yeah, B tier. I feel like B tier is pretty fitting for Mr. Fredster. Yeah, Pig. See, yeah, Pig doesn't really have much. Her power is just too slow for it to be worth talking about. Can't really use it at pallets or anything. The traps are passive slowdown, which is good. But if you're good at M1 chasing, then you know there are better killers like Michael or Doctor and Freddy that they just have better powers. Pig is pretty doggy ass. I think she's still better than Trapper because she has passive slowdown, and Trapper has passive slowdown built into his own kit by like slowing him down with the setup and picking up his own power off the ground. So I feel like she's definitely better than Trapper. Also, the power does offer some anti-loop. Can be used to deal with like some weird tiles. Also, if you're like a godlike Pig player, you can do some funky stuff with it. I think it's pretty cool. But Pig is super bad. Do not play Pig. She's kind of annoying. Pig was my first killer main. I mained Pig, Freddy, Nemesis, Nurse, and Blight. Those were my 5 mains. Before you guys start commenting that I say that every killer used to be my main. Those are my 5 mains. Recently, I've been playing a lot of Wesker though, but I wouldn't consider myself a Wesker main. Clown. I hope he gets deleted. Get him out of the game. It's like Clown is annoying to go against, annoying to play as. You play as Clown, you lose, and Survivor still fucking teabag the shit out of you because you're playing Clown. Clown is dog shit. Don't play this character. Sorry if this feels very biased. It is. It's my video, bro. Why are you watching? This is not a unbiased opinion on the killers. It's a very biased opinion. I think Clown is dog water. But if I'm being real, he's also pretty fucking good. Unlike some maps, some tiles. You just make the Survivor blind, bro. It's like, ugh. Why do you exist? Do you know what I mean? Fuck. Why are you real? If only you didn't exist, things would be better. Spirits is super fucking strong. I see people putting Spirits like A tier a lot of the time. Especially with the recent shadow buff that she got. Like ambient occlusion noise cancellation or whatever it's called. I think Spirits is like probably better than Blight. Nah. I mean, if we put Alkring, Adrenaline Vial, Blight versus Mother Daughter Ring, and the add-on that shows you Killer Instinct, Spirits, I think Spirits performs better. Nah, Blight is way too fucking strong. Yeah, no, Spirits is definitely better, worse than Blight, but she's super good. There's no counterplay to Spirit anymore. Running Iron Will still makes you can still hear the Survivor if they have Iron Will. The thing is getting the first hit though. Yesterday I played against a Spirit that couldn't get the first hit for shit, and she lost like 4 gens before she even like actually got it down. So that's pretty rough. But she was pretty bad. You can also just use power to get the first hit. But yeah, Spirit's super strong. She's always going to be super strong just because there's the whole thing of the Survivors not being able to see you, and you as a Spirit player having so much more practice against the Survivors than the Survivors are ever going to have against you. And that's the same for every killer, because the Survivors can go against 30 different killers, and you as the killer is only ever going to go against the same Survivors, you know? Like, they might have different perks, but it's still the same core gameplay. It's like a Spirit player is always going to have more experience against Survivors, and Survivors are going to have against the Spirits. That's the same with every killer. And so a killer like Spirits, which forces you into this 50-50 of like, she can't see you and you can't see her, Spirits almost always going to win because she just has more practice, if that makes sense. So yeah, never going to be a weak killer. Legion, super decent killer. Definitely better than Freddy and Clown and all those other killers. Legion doesn't get as much... Legion gets too much of a bad rep, in my opinion. Legion can be super strong. Legion can also be super bullyable if they don't know how to like control gens and stuff. I sure get bullied as Legion all the time. But so does every other killer that, you know, is ranked below Legion. Maybe not Clown, because people just DC against Clown and Suicide First Hook, but anyway. Yeah, Legion's super good. Has some crazy add-ons as well that can help her a lot. Hitting and running is kind of decent still. Healing against Legion is kind of weird, so people don't even do it if you run Thanatophobia. Thanatophobia is actually better if you get 4 people injured, but it's worse if you have less than 4. And then the old iteration of it. So Legion is like super good with Thanatophobia. Also has a movement ability, so really good at like keeping 3 gens. I played against Legion recently, yesterday. That was like super good at like maintaining a 3 gen and never chasing it. It was super annoying. I fucking hated it. I despise every killer that never chases, but if we're talking about winning as killer, Legion can win games quite efficiently. But yeah, M1 killer at the end of the day. Plague! Oh, fuck this killer. Oh my god, she's so strong. She's so strong. She forces, especially against solo kill, she forces survivors into this like impossible scenario of like, should I cleanse and possibly make Plague the best killer in the game with her power, or do I just stay injured and, you know, risk getting M1'd, and also my screen is all disgusting and shit. So Plague is always going to be the queen of destroying solo queue because of the impossible question. And she's also super good against like coordinated swifts. Not really, because if they never cleanse, she never has the power. I mean, she gets the power once, but then she doesn't get it again. Also, Giga cleansers are annoying to go against as well. So that's why she's not an S tier killer. But the Hag is better than Plague, though, I think. Yeah, Hag is pretty okay. Ghosty boy. Oh, fuck. This killer. Ugh. I don't know. I have played efficiently in 99ing everyone. I saw a Hands play Ghostface recently against like good survivors, and he did pretty well. I'm not a very good Ghostface player. And very map reliance, very perk reliance. I don't know. I feel like Ghostface is a pretty solid killer in almost every aspect. I don't like killers that can hide their red stains though. Just naturally, because it takes no skill to like a survivor just runs into you because they can't see your red stain. You know what I mean? But other than that, pretty solid killer overall. I don't think he's super weak or super strong or anything. Demo is a pretty even mid tier right here. He's like one of the most balanced killers in the game. Oh, there's even an argument to where he's A tier. Right? I mean, being able to teleport around the map is super good. He has anti-loop. He can shred pallets pretty quickly with Barb's glasses and the other add-on. Demo is pretty cool. I played a lot of Demo. Well, Demo is my 6th main. I just forgot about him. Oh, I played more Demo than Freddy. So I should have mentioned Demogorgon more or earlier. But yeah, pretty decent. Not stronger than Bubba though. Bubba is better at breaking pallets, forcing survivors out of pallets and everything. Better at face camping. I mean, he's a king of face camping. If it was a face camping tier list, Bubba would be rank 1. But Demo, pretty solid. Oni is another very solid killer. Not as solid as Plague, but pretty solid. Better than Huntress for sure. Oni is insanely powerful in power. He moves fast in insta-downs. It's crazy. But then there's the whole setup of like trying to get the first hit. And then you're just an M1 killer. A very loud, tall M1 killer. So if you're going against extremely good survivors, you're never going to get that first hit. And until you do, you're going to have lost a lot of gens. But then there's always the snowball effect of Oni, which I think Oni has the best snowball effect out of any killer in the game. If like you get a down with your power and then you have a lot of time left, so you can just find another survivor, insta down that guy as well, and that's Jeej right there. Yeah, Oni's super good. I don't know why not a lot of people play Oni. Oni's super fun. Like one of the funnest killers in the game to play as. And super cool to play against as well. Oni should be played more. I don't know why he isn't, to be honest. Deathslinger has to be below Huntress. Also has to reel in the survivors and everything. But he can completely obliterate DH. So, it's like... I mean, not even obliterates. It's like, if you have DH, you don't have an exhaustion break. You just wasted a perk slot against Deathslinger. Can play most loops pretty well. I certainly hate going against Deathslinger. I played a lot of Deathslinger, and like, proxy camping with Deathslinger is stronger than any other ranged killer in the game, I think. Because it's just like, you're bringing them all close to you before you kill them, so you can like, you can pile a body of, you can make a body pile, you can make a pile of bodies of survivors. Really close to the guy that you just hooked. It's so easy to lock down an area with this guy. Snowball, crazy potential. Hell, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's make it more fair. Steak Deathslinger is super good. Super decent killer. Pyramid Head. I saw Zoe. I even commented on her video about this. It's like she put Pyramid Head right next to Ghostface. He was like here. And it was like C tier as well. Pyramid Head is one of the strongest fucking killers in the game, Zoe. What the fuck? He can completely ignore every hook mechanic in the game. He can lock down loops. He can force you into a 50-50 scenario through walls. Bro, it's crazy. Pyramid Head is super, super good. And I'm glad not a lot of people play him. He's also super good at locking down areas in 3 gens because he can get hits, you know, on multiple people at the same time. Super good at face camping as well. Guaranteed double hit if someone's unhooking. So, all around, just a very, very solid killer. Maybe Zoe just had a few too many bad experiences playing as Pyramid Head. I know I did. Pyramid Head is not an easy killer to get the hang of, but once you do, he's super good. And he can also force you. Okay, so Pyramid Head can put his power down and fake the power and then let go of the power, and then there's nothing you can do because it's so fast. Like putting the sword down and lifting it off the ground to get an M1 is so fast that there's like it's humanly impossible to react to that. I mean, I shouldn't, you know, say that it's possible, but it's just very hard. You know, like you can fake using the power and then just not use the power and kill you. And I think that's super strong. People underestimate that. I really like how the tier list is looking right now. Because the game is so killer-sided at the moment, well, I don't know about that one, to be honest. The game is definitely killer-sided, but it's not super killer-sided at the moment. Survivors can definitely still keep up, especially with the new HD and all that stuff. Good stuff, but killers just have way too many strong perks. And the newer killers are super annoying to go against. But I like that I haven't put anyone in D tier, and I don't even think I will. Like if Pig is not D tier and Trapper is not D tier, like who's gonna be D tier? I might even rearrange at the end and see if we get a better result. But this is super good. I like how it's looking. Blight, my favorite killer to play in the game. There's even an argument where Blight is stronger than Nurse. But not really, you know, like Blight, it's like I wish I could put them like on top of each other. Blight is super good, even if you don't have any add-ons. Base kit power is super strong, a lot of mobility, a lot of anti-loop. You can catch up to survivors super fast. There's no such thing as sprint burst in life if you're playing Blight, but then DH is super annoying, as I think it should be. There should be a way to counter this piece of shit. But yeah, super cool killer. I love going against Blight. I have no complaints about Blight. He's super strong. I just wish the perks didn't, you know, favor him so much. Being able to kick gens and lock down games for 5 hours if you're a bad Blight. Super annoying, but if you're a chase Blight and you just get a 4K off the bat, then you're good at the game. Congratulations. Neo7X. Super great Blight player. Should watch her. She's amazing. She doesn't like compliments though. And I compliment her all the time. She's super good at Blight. Watch her. To wins. Bro, I don't even know. Like probably B? I don't know. What the fuck plays this? Trickster. What's up, little guy? Both of the ranged killers are A tier so far. And I think she probably belongs somewhere here. Somewhere in here. Yeah, more like that. Trickster, though. Trickster is so fucking annoying. Trickster, B tier. Probably behind this guy. Trickster is definitely better at, like, dealing with loops than Deathslinger is, but I just feel like Trickster. I don't know. Like talking like from my own personal opinion, I just think Deathslinger is better. He's just stronger. Just big buff guy, you know. Trickster is like this scrawny little tiny kid. He sings K-pop, bro. Like who's gonna be scared of that? Do you know what I mean? Nemesis, another contingency? No. Another point of disagreement between me and Zoe. Zoe thinks that Nemesis is dog water. I think Nemesis is super good. I went against a tunneling Nemesis yesterday on stream. Super hard to deal with because you come out of the hook, you're still infected. So if you want to tunnel as Nemesis, it's super strong because you can slap them once, and if you have save the best for last, you almost lose no distance. You can deal with most loops with your tentacle. There's not much the survivor can do about you pulling up the tentacle at every pallet, other than just keep running every time. But eventually you're gonna catch up because of bloodlust. Super good at tunneling. Zombie AI was improved a lot, and zombies pretty much block loops every time for you. Every time they hear a noise notification. So, pretty super good killer. I mean, I even think he's better than Pyramid Head. Pyramid Head is super strong killer as well. But yeah, Nemesis is super fun to go against as well. I just wish the zombies weren't so annoying. Pinhead. You could just not exist and I'd be happy. I'm gonna put Pinhead right here. I don't have much to talk about here. I DC against Pinhead all the time. If I say that my teammates are not doing the box while I'm being chased, I just DC as well. I'm just kidding. I'm not that much of a piece of shit, but I don't really play against Pinhead a lot because I do, you know, miss a few skill checks on second stage every now and then. I try and Kobe a few times first stage so I can get out of the hook. I'm a little jokester. I do a little pranking. Yeah, Pinhead's super annoying. Fuck this guy. Also not very bad though. Super strong killer in most loops. Can be used to destroy survivors and drink their manly tears. If they're manly. If they're not manly, you just drink their tears. Because we enjoy all types of suffering. We don't discriminate when it comes to suffering. Or anything. I don't discriminate at all. Okay, I should stop talking about that. I'm sorry. Artist. Super strong. Stronger than Hag, definitely, I think. Yeah, too much map control, blocks every single loop, can kill you from across the map without being skilled. Yeah, all arounder. All arounder. Sadako. Ugh, condemn Sadako. I already wanna puke. I already want to puke, but yeah, not super good. Tiny little girl chases you around. Can't really see her her body because she's passively phasing. But if she commits to you, you get 5 gen chases all the fucking time. But if she hits and runs, she's probably even better than Wraith. Probably. Most likely. I don't know. If she's condemned Sadako, she's the strongest killer in the game because everyone disconnects, as they should. But yeah, probably stronger than Wraith. Just a better iteration of Wraith, I think, with no anti-loop, but you don't really need anti-loop when you can be everywhere at once. I know I had a lot of fun playing Sadako, and if you have the right build, you can destroy survivors and drink their indiscriminately drink their tears, if you know what I mean. Dredge, okay killer, pretty all-rounder, kind of like Demogorgon. I used to be a #1 Dredge hater. I don't really despise him anymore. Not as much as I used to. It used to be a big meme on my Survivor channel that I fucking despised Dredge's existence. It's not that bad. It's like, I would rather he was deleted off the game, yes, but I have learned to deal with his existence. For now. Until I get a very annoying one with like permanite full. But yeah. Wesker. It's pretty solid A. Stronger than artist, I think. Maybe not stronger than artist. Bro, I want to put Wesker on S tier. But then I played so much Wesker and I had so much trouble against good survivors that I don't know. I do not know. He probably belongs A tier though. Super good killer. Knights, super weak. Do not play him. Do not touch knights. Why would you play knights? He's stronger than those killers though. He's stronger than this for sure. I don't think he. It's like 3-gen knights is completely uncounterable. So I don't know. Probably top of B tier is okay. Yeah, fair enough. And then this is just a piece of shit killer. Super weak in every aspect. She's like a weaker Ghostface. And you gotta like lock survivors into an area to get it. Super bad. And I can only imagine that people are gonna play it like the most annoying way possible because that's just how killer players play nowadays. This is my tier list, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you disagree with me, fuck you. I have the right opinion. Okay? Any other opinion will be discarded. Alright? Bye bye, everyone.
Woof.